stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the grandkids are gone. Yesterday, suddenly my wife, she had a really bad headache, like one of those blinding headaches, man, knocked her out for the evening. Man, what a good time. I'm beat. Oh, did you guys hear that? Oh, man, I needed that. Need that pop. Yeah, I'm kind of wasting time for people to get here. It's Sunday, so I really don't expect anybody. So anyway, if you're here, please say hi. Say hello. How are you? Whatever it is that you need to do. I'll do the best that I can here. It's funny because, okay, we have 5 grandkids. Orson being the youngest, he can't come over yet. It's still a little too soon for sleepovers. But, as grandparents, it's like a competition almost sometimes, because there's other grandparents. And I don't get much into it, but my wife is, and it isn't really, because the other grandparents are great. I love them. They take great pictures. We all have our stuff. But whenever our grandkids, whenever it's time to leave, they don't want to leave. And so I've explained to Shannon, because the other grandparents have a lot of money, and money comes, I don't know, because I've never been in that situation. I never grew up with money. I've always been very poor. So, living on Skid Row, the fact that I even have a roof over my head is good for me, because the home is what you make it, right? So yesterday, what we did is we spent time in the yard playing in the dirt, man. That's what we did. We built a little path, a little patio thing with some bricks we took out of the yard. We used our imaginations, and we spent time together. And I didn't have to spend anything except my time. That's all they want. They don't understand the rest of it. So when they leave, and it isn't just I don't want to leave, it's a sincere I don't want to leave, because our grandkids get to be whoever or whomever they want to be. Okay? It's because we treat them with respect, because we let them do things that, that they want to do within reason. They're not unreasonable things. So when they leave, the thing is no money was involved. So therefore there's no expectations involved. See, I kind of feel when money's involved, then the expectation comes, and that's no good. So, we're talking about we forgive today. And, man. So let's talk about it. We forgive. Often it was a while working on this step with our sponsors or spiritual advisors that we felt truly able to forgive others, no matter how deeply we felt they had wronged us. I'm thinking on that, because the thought that came to my mind was that I hurt myself more than anybody, and I'm the first person that I need to forgive. It's a lot easier for me to forgive others than it is myself. You too? Some people, it's the opposite. Either way, it's still a conundrum, right? You still got to do it. No, I have found that the best way to forgive somebody, number one, is my intentions. So what are my intentions? Well, I'm not going to wish bad karma on this person because that's just not within. No. Just because something has happened between us doesn't change what they can do in the world. And what I really truly want is for everybody to have their chance at this sobriety thing. Well, I don't get to make all those decisions. God does that, and God works through people. So if I'm not forgiving people, I'm arguing with God. And I'm also making my life a lot harder than it needs to be. Okay? Just let people be who the fuck they are, man. Just let them be. I don't know about you guys, but I was raised, and through most of my adult life, I'm being told what to do, where to go, how to do it. Okay? And a lot of those pieces of advice were incorrect and they were wrong. Because see, what I was being told was, you're a man. You're not supposed to have feelings. You're not supposed to this. You're not supposed to that. And I fought that most of my life. I fought the stigma of it. All right. And it didn't work. Didn't work. Have you ever noticed when you fight something with a fight, it doesn't work? It doesn't. You cannot fight stigma. Every time I see somebody put out, we're going to fight stigma, a month later, it's gone. The only one that is stuck around is called the Stigma Unplugged. And that's because they are not trying to fight stigma. They're coming into agreement with it and educating people. See, fighting stigma can be very, very tough because you're going to have to change other people's minds. Good fucking luck on that. Good luck. Try and change my mind about God. We'll be there for a long time. And it ain't going to happen. Our moral inventory had persuaded us that all around forgiveness was desirable. Okay? So that's a utopian. It's desirable. Ain't going to happen. Didn't happen for me. But it was when I resolutely tackled step 5 that I inwardly knew we'd be able to receive forgiveness, and give it too. Okay? That's with you. Forgive yourself, man. Forgive yourself first. It would be so much easier to forgive other people. Oh, they hurt my feelings. So I know. And so that's 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 58. Let's go check it out. Man, I am a massage therapist today, man. Page 58. Here we are. Another great dividend we may expect from confiding our defects in another human is humility, a word often misunderstood. Doesn't forgiveness and humility kind of go hand in hand? I think they do. I'm thinking on it. Never put the two together that I can remember. So, yeah, I think I'm going to need to humble myself a little bit before I can start forgiving, right? I need to humble myself because I need to get rid of all this negative stuff that's blocking me from the sunlight of the Spirit. Wouldn't you much rather get some sunshine in your life than sitting in the darkness all the time? Somebody kind of put it to me a different way the other day, if you guys were here, and it was awesome. Who did it? Nisa had said, if you're not standing in the sunlight of the Spirit, then you're in the dark. How simply awesome. I loved it, and I stole it. That's the other thing. Okay. And I love this one. So people put quotes out, and then they say, well, I know you said it. No, you didn't. Here's the thing. There is no quote out there that's new. There is nothing original left. There's not. There's too many people in the freaking world to think for a second that you came up with the best idea. No, somebody else did. How you're going to implement what you're going to do with it is going to be a much different story. See, a lot of times people will just post and post, and they post that stuff. Great. But are you living it? Are you doing it? Right? To those who have made progress in AA, it amounts to a clear recognition of what and who we really are, followed by a sincere attempt to become what we could be. Therefore, our first practical move toward humility must consist of recognizing our deficiencies. No defect can be corrected unless we clearly see what it is. Right? There's a G.I. Joe moment. Knowing is half the battle. Right? Stopping and recognizing that something is going on. What's a great way to do that? Gut check. Ask your stomach. See how it feels. No defect can be corrected, but we shall have to do more than see. The object look at ourselves we achieved in step 4 was, after all, only a look. All of us saw, for example, that we lacked honesty and tolerance, that were beset at times by attacks of self-pity or delusion or personal grandeur. That, what are you looking for when you're fighting stigma? Look at me, I beat stigma. I think that would be fantastic if somebody did that. But it ain't gonna happen. Well, I have thought. Somebody may find a better way at some point, but until then. But while this was a humiliating experience, it didn't necessarily mean that we had yet acquired much actual humility. There's a big difference between being humble and humility. Okay? But while this is a humiliating experience, now that word is different from the other two. I think humiliation should not be put in this. I think that is the far end. I think that's the far end of humbleness and humility. Humiliation is when somebody calls me Dion Peon or calls me name. That's humiliation in my book. That's just me, though, right? For you, it might be different. Honestly, it doesn't matter because we're both going to the same place. So that's okay. See, sometimes our paths may veer a little bit from other people and stuff, but we're all going to the same place, guys. We're all going to meet at the end. That's why we're trudging together. That's why we do it together. Because it isn't about getting to the end and succeeding. It's the path that leads you there. It is the path, not the end. So enjoy it. You know how you tell kids, enjoy your nap time while you can? Well, I'm telling you, enjoy the path while you can. Though now recognize our defects were still there, something had to be done, and we soon found that we could not wish them away or will them away by ourselves. No, it doesn't work that way. Got to talk about it, man. You got to utilize this hole in front of your face, right? That's right. Kind of hard, or if you don't know how, right? So we have to intentionally, okay, we have to make our intention that we're going to go find our character defects and we're going to do something about them. I think that sounds like a great idea in my book, man. God forbid we do something to make, our lives a little bit better that day. That's like when I love it when somebody will give me advice and they're waiting, because they're not sure how I'm going to react. And I'll tell them something like, well, you know what? It really pisses me off that you made my life better. I love it. I'm very open-minded. I had a situation this weekend. Gary, you mind if I talk about it a little bit? Right? So Gary and I, we have a home group, okay? He's my boy. Taking care of him. He's not an alcoholic. He's an overeater, okay? So he's been going to my 10 o'clock meeting with me, and some people had some problems, and they didn't have problems. It wasn't a problem, okay? And they approached me because they felt a little bit more comfortable, because I've been going a while, and I've gotten to know some of the people, and I interviewed some of the people in the group. And my friend Jerry came to me. I'm not going to hide names because this was a great situation. So you guys, you can either take things personally or you can see it for what the fuck it is. Okay? This was a hard phone call for Jerry to make. And I'll tell you why. Because they give a fuck about what happens to Gary. Right? But we have to maintain the group autonomous. Okay. And so what they did is they came to me and said, Dion, you're kind of going against the rules, and we wanted to let you know. And it wasn't a bad thing. And we all learned something from it. We all learned something from it. Isn't that what it's all about? It wasn't that there was something wrong. It's that there was a chance to learn. And Gary and I sat down, we went over it, and he found a fucking great OA meeting. What they were saying, because I want Gary to go with me so that you guys know what it's like. It'd be pretty fucking uncomfortable. It could be overwhelming, man. All right? And I want everybody to have a chance at this thing. Right? So they told me, Dion, your intentions were good, but they're over now. Okay? Right? Staying in our own lane. Is it okay for somebody to approach you and let you know what you're doing, the path, the way you're going about it is incorrect? Are you open-minded enough to listen to that, no matter who it's from? What a great feeling forgiveness is. What a revelation about my emotional, psychological, spiritual nature. All it takes is willingness to forgive. God will do the rest. All right, we are a couple minutes past. Have a great day, guys. I will see you tomorrow for a daily reflection. This next week's going to be huge for Trudging Together. Peace out. Love you guys, and have a day.